And good evening, everybody. This is Laird, VE3LKS. Let me see, this is week 10, Friday night edition of the COVID-19 Rag Juice. So welcome, everybody. Hope you had a good week. And at this time, we'll take check-ins, VE3LKS.
Cherry Foxtrot 6, Hotel Echo Mike.
3CW. The E3 CRU. The A3 Romeo Tango Victor.
VA3 Whiskey Bravo Zulu.
V3 RPM Victor Golf Juliet.
Okay, I'll tell you who I've got so far. I got VE3HEM. I know you're using the CF one, but for my purposes, I'm using the VE. Or VA, I guess is it VA6 HEM or VE6, something like that. Anyways, VE3 CWR Gerard, VE3 CRU Bill, VA3 RTV Jeffrey, VA3 WBZ William, VE3 RPN Scott, and VE3 VGJ Joe. Anybody else wanting to check in at this time?
VE3 ICX. Victor Alpha 3 Alpha Bravo Zulu. VE3 IRB.
Okay, I copied VE3 IGX, and was it Victor Alpha 3 Papa Bravo Zulu?
Alpha Bravo Zulu.
Oh, Alpha Bravo Zulu. Okay, very good. And Robert, VE3 IRB. Just stand by a second. Okay, still having a question on that one call. I've got Victor Alpha 3 Papa Alpha Zulu. Is that correct?
Victor Alpha 3 Alpha Bravo Zulu. The name is Alan.
That's what I thought, but it's not popping. It's not popping your name up. I'll have to check my master database. Very good, Alan. I thought that was you, but when it didn't pop up your name, it just threw me off there a bit. And we also have Robert, VE3 IRB. Anybody else wanting to check in at this time?
Victor Alpha 3 Delta Charlie Echo.
Victor Echo 3 Whiskey Zulu.
Okay, I copy VA3 DCE Doug and VE3 PWJ Peter. I know you're using the Whiskey Zulu, but I'm using the PWJ because that's what I've got in the database. And I guess with that being said, we'll head back up to the top. And we'll start off with Mike. It's either VE6 or VA6 HEM. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Laird. It's Victor Alpha 6, Hotel Echo Mike, using the special call there for the next month. Using the special call there for the next month. Using the Charlie Foxtrot 6, Hotel Echo Mike here for a bit. Seems to get quite a bit of hits on the calls out there on HF and digital, so it seems to work pretty well. Really not much to add. I've been away for a couple of days. Well, not really away. We've just been quite busy with the house and stuff like that. But I do apologize, and we're back here on the Friday night edition of the Ragnet. And God, Laird, hopefully the shaver, the barber, are going to be opened up in Ontario soon. Because man, you need a shave. Hi. Back to you. The A6 ATM.
Yeah, well, I can control the shaving part. The barber part, not so much. It's either Yeah, I'm back tonight too. I missed last night. I don't know what ended up last night happening. I did send an email out to 5 or 6 guys asking them to run it for me. I have no idea what happened. I don't know whether my email got out or not, but I know I listened for about 10 minutes before I fell asleep. I was just dog tired. I couldn't do it last night. And I heard, I think it was CWR, no, Bill, CRU, Jackie, BTG, no, whatever Jackie's call is, and Bob, IRB. But that was it. And then I fell asleep, and that was it for the night. Let's see. We also have Jeff. Jeff's up on YouTube, and so is Darren. Welcome, guys. Good to have you with us. And I guess we're down to Gerard, VE3CWR.
Yeah, okay. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, Bill, I knew if you were there, you'd copy that, but I have to send with the side of my hand, Bill. I can't use my fingers anymore. I sure miss it, but anyway, my fingers aren't coherent anymore. they have a mind of their own. Hi. So I just send with this side of my hand there. Anyway, that's life. So anyway, I don't know what the topic is tonight, but anyway, I've been busy outside today, sitting down a couple hours, working a little bit of DMR with the handheld. The lazy man's radio. Hi. Boy, well, shouldn't even call it, I guess, the lazy man's internet or whatever. Anyway, back to mission control, the 3CWR.
Yes, well, since we didn't have Wide Open Wednesday this week, I think we had something else scheduled that night. We'll do it Free for All Friday. So whatever you guys want to talk about, we can do. And I know next week, one night, we're going to be talking about balance, but that's going to be next week. And don't even ask me about it because I have no idea. I'd have to read my email again. Anyways, speaking of that, we will go down to CRU, VE3CRU. Bill, good evening.
VE3CRU here. Good evening, Laird, and all on frequency. Hey, it's a great night out, great week coming ahead, too. The only thing is, on Wednesday, I think it is going to be 30 degrees, and I won't have my new air conditioning installed till Friday. Hi. I think I'll be going next door and this ain't heard. But no, the day's gone well. Property's all up to snuff, pretty much so there. I'll be getting my coon problem taken care of. And pardon my coughing. While I was waiting for the net, I've been brought a damn cloth out here, and I'm doing a great job of cleaning up all the dust and dirt and everything else that's collected in this vehicle while it sits here. But as I say, yes, when you mentioned Wide Open Wednesday, that's twice now that you haven't had Wide Open Wednesday. The previous Wednesday, you brought up something else too. There was some topic that was hot on your mind. But hey, we had fun last night, Laird. It's okay for you to take off. I didn't hear about it until later that you did send an email out. But at any rate, well, we managed. We coped. We had, I think, something like 11 seconds. Back to net, VE3CRU.
Okay, good. So someone did pick it up and run with it then. Okay, very good. Because I know I listened for about 10 or 15 minutes and then fell asleep. I was in bed. I was just too exhausted. Sometimes I have a hard time sleeping, and I had 2 nights in a row where I only got about 4 hours sleep, and then Wednesday night I got about an hour and a half. And so last night I just couldn't do it. Yesterday afternoon, I sent the email out. Okay, very good. Well, I haven't got the list. I'm not sure who ran it, but I didn't get the list. But I'm sure they'll email it to me because I'd asked for a list of everyone who participated so I could put it in the log here. I'm sure that'll come along. Very good. Yes. So instead of the Wide Open Wednesday, free for all Friday, and we'll try to make up for some of those days. And Bill, if you need to keep cool, a cool cloth or a little pack of ice on the back of your neck will help keep your whole body cool. So if it gets too hot, there's a trick to try. VA3 RTV, Jeffrey.
Yes, good evening, Laird, and welcome back. And I did actually join the net yesterday evening around 7:30, and Robert was seemed to be in charge, but he very easily handed it over to me, which was fine. So I took over from 7:30, and it actually went on till nearly 9 o'clock. Mainly with Merv. But, it was kind of interesting that some of the people, like Aldo and Peter, they gave us 2 call signs to make it look better for you. So, but Merv was in Lindsay, and Paul, PDL, was in Hamilton, and they both came in absolutely crystal clear. So it was good. Anyway, so I have the list, and however you want me to send it to you, that's fine. And with that, well, back to you there, Laird. Thank you.
Okay, very good, Jeffrey. Well, thanks for doing that. I appreciate that greatly. I'm not sure what time you guys got started, but I know the guys that I sent it out to are usually some of the first ones on, so I'm surprised no one even piped up and said that I wouldn't be on. Because several people were asking where I was, but oh well. Yeah, just send it to me in an email, Jeffrey, and that'll be fine. I can then just cut and paste and be done with her. Appreciate that, and thanks again. Let's see who's next on my list. VE3 VGJ Joe. What are you doing around this part of the woods on a nice sunny weekend?
Good evening, Laird, and everybody on frequency, and welcome back. Well, I don't want to be carried away by the black flies up north this weekend. I'm sure they're sort of at the top right now. So next weekend I'll be up there. And not a lot to report on tonight other than great weather. I was out, got the grass cut, and got that done for the weekend. And finally going to put this A-frame up on the roof tomorrow for my television antenna. I've been wanting to do this for the last 2 months, and I think it's going to work out good there tomorrow. And move some stuff around. So that's my chore tomorrow after going there to WFF to get some groceries there. Looks like it'll be a beautiful morning. Back to you.
Oh, very good. Well, the black flies are not going to like that at all, Joe. You know, not getting their pound of flesh, and the mosquitoes either if they're out. You know, you always have to, it's good to go down a quart or two once in a while, and then you get new fresh blood. Your body will produce that stock, and it makes you feel better. Hi. Of course, you scratch like the dickens for the next week or two, but oh well. Very good. Well, good luck with that tripod on the roof, and I hope everything works out well there, and that we don't get any emergency calls from you lying on the ground needing help to get up. VE3 IGX, Cam.
Good evening, Laird, and everyone on the frequency. I didn't do too much today. Got my first 9 holes of golf in, and we were on the tee at 7:45 this morning before it got too hot. And it wasn't too bad of a day or too bad of a game, but I let my neighbor win because I can't stand his whining most of the time. Anyway, we'll give it on back to you, VE3 LKS, VE3 IGX.
Okay, very good, Cam. Well, it's nice of you to do that for your friend. And yeah, you don't want to listen to that all week. And very good. I like that. Now, how do you fit the clubs on the back of the Spider?
Very carefully.
Okay, very good. Excellent. Okay, well, I'm glad you had a good round. It was a beautiful day for it. I was stuck working, but enough of that. You know, someone's got to pay your pension plan so you can go golfing. Anyways, down to Alan, VA3ABZ. Good evening, Alan.
Good evening, all. Just reflecting on this week, 2 years past, we were aboard a cruise ship that was from Alaska down to Vancouver. So it took the inside passage. So it was quite an experience. And of course, this year, my daughter had a cruise booked in England to the Netherlands, and that got canceled. So all boats are pretty much sitting still.
Yes, not much is happening right now on the high seas. Although I did hear a rumor that where was it? There was some cruise line, the big one, the biggest one. I think it's Carnival. They started taking bookings again, and they almost sold out immediately on a few of their ships. So it hasn't slowed people in their desire to cruise down very much. Oh, excuse me. I had too much for supper, I think. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that happens and, how that goes. But, I don't know. Being stuck on a ship with that many people this soon after a pandemic, I'm not sure if I would be pulling the trigger on that one, but maybe they're getting a sweet deal. VE3 IRB, Robert.
VE3 IRB. Yeah, last night we had a sort of an informal discussion when I came in. Actually, it was Bill and Jackie. It was just the three of us for most of the time, and then a couple others started to join in. I started to keep a track of it, and then Jeffrey signed on, and we appointed him our leader, and I passed over the numbers I got. And he proceeded from there. By that time, my radio was low on battery, and I thought I was going to lose it, so I thought better he be in charge. Anyways, I had a great day myself, work and some stuff out in the yard. Great day. Anyways, back to you.
Well, excellent. I know I heard you and Jackie and Bill in there, so you guys are doing a good job and keeping it going anyways. So that's great. And no gardening today. You're actually working?
Actually, I did some of both. And actually, I got up in the garden. We were taking down the structure, and right in the middle of it, somebody needed to get into a house I had the key for, so I had to, my old scrubbies, run down and open the door for them. We do what we have to. Back to you.
Oh, your old scrubbies. So that's just a 2-piece suit, not a 3-piece, and you maybe only had an old tie on. Perfect. Okay, very good, Bob. Glad it was a busy day for you. VA3 DCE, Doug.
Good evening, Laird. It's nice to hear you back again. You'll be pleased to know that I didn't really miss you last night. I heard you weren't on, and I said, he's just probably gone golfing. So I said, good for him. He deserves it. Nobody deserves a break more than he does. So I thought of you as golfing, and I didn't think any more of it. Anyway, things went smoothly today. I got out grocery shopping. I'm resupplied on ice cream, and I had pizza for supper. So life is good. Back to you, Laird.
Okay, I guess the question will be, where did you get your pizza?
The Loblaws affiliate here is theirs. It has a deli make their own there. It's a thin, ultra thin crust pizza, and I feel guilty. Well, I have half of this little pizza, but it doesn't last long, so I enjoy it anyway.
Excellent. Because I know some people recently on here were going to a pizza joint down in Brooklyn, so I'm just wondering if you had taken the plunge and gone there down there as well. I still can't talk. Wow. Let's see. VE3 PWJ, Peter.
Well, good evening, Laird, and all the good folks. You got there tonight. Got a nice collection of people there. So today we're busy. I give the little gray beast out in the driveway a nice bath. That car must have had a shock. And then we took the top off the AC unit and cleaned all the crap out of the bottom of that thing to get it ready for the summer. And I think you can probably guess where the Mazda went this afternoon, Laird. Over to you.
Let me think. You were probably sitting out in a parking lot in front of a store while your wife went in. Was that correct?
Why have you ever got me figured out, Laird?
Yeah, you need to put a tracker in that thing so that I can then, when I see that, I can drive by and give you some verbal grief. Anyways, very good, Peter. Well, you're someone's got to do it, so it might as well be you. And glad you got some groceries in, and you'll be able to sustain yourself for another week or at least a few days. We're at the bottom of the list, so I'm just going to take a standby. If anybody would like to check into the Rag Chew this evening, then now's your opportunity. This is Laird, VE3LKS.
Victor Alpha 3, Bravo Alpha Hotel.
VA3 KJI.
VE3HIX.
Okay, I acknowledge Brian, VA3BAH, Grant, VA3KJI, and Bob, VE3HIX, and it's free for all Friday, so you can talk about whatever you like. Back up to you, Brian, and welcome from Kingston.
Well, thanks for taking my check-in. And by the way, I always presumed that you were a multitasking kind of guy. So, I couldn't see a problem with doing Zoom and YouTube at the same time. Hi.
Yeah, let's see how much bandwidth we can suck up at one time and mess everything up. No, I think that would just be a recipe for disaster, because you get my wife and kid on there watching movies on Netflix or something at the same time, and it could spell disaster. But yes, definitely the Zoom, and by all means, I think I got a couple of requests from your guys, so I'll be sending them out the invitation tomorrow sometime with the Zoom meeting thing, and unless you did that already. But if you didn't, then I'll send that out.
Well, I presumed that you wanted a little more control. So what I did, we have a free list here. So I sent it out to the free list with your name and email address to contact you, and that they had to register with their name and call sign, and that this way they're dealing with you directly, rather than giving them the Zoom link and somebody clicking on it on Sunday night and then just hanging out in the waiting room because you don't know they're coming. Back to you.
Yeah, no, that works out perfect, and glad some of your guys are interested. I know one of the guys made a comment that he just bought one, and so he was glad it was perfect timing. So yeah, looking forward to that. And for anybody else on here that's wondering what the heck am I talking about, Brian asked if some of his if he could advertise it to his club members down in Kingston about our Zoom meeting. And since we usually have about 25 people on ours, I said, sure, they can handle up to 100 on the free account. So he's got some of his guys now that'll be joining us on Sunday. So North Shore guys, be on your best behavior. Don't talk too badly about Brian until he's off the air, and try to be nice to our guests. Let's see who's next on the list. Grant, VA3KJI.
Yeah, good evening, Laird, and everybody else on the repeater. I missed you last night. I'm sure you talked about it already, so we won't belabor the point. Yeah, not a lot to add. It was a fantastic fantastic day today. Got the pool running, and of course it's still pretty cold. I think polar bears would like it. My daughter's dog will be in it tomorrow to tell us all about it. But the fantastic weather. Tomorrow's supposed to be even nicer, and then a bit of dampness, but still very warm. So fantastic weather ahead. As usual, like my wife says, we don't get spring, right? We just switch the air conditioning, switch from heat over to AC, and away we go. Back to you, Laird.
Oh, very good. Yeah, no, nothing too bad last night. It was just I had a couple of 3 nights in a row of really bad sleep, and by about 1 or 2 in the afternoon, I could barely keep awake. So I sent an email out, and one of the guys picked it up and ran with it. But I think they didn't come in right away at 7. They weren't able to. So they picked it up a bit later in the rag chew. But that's all it was. I just couldn't stay awake, and that's all it was. Anyways, let's see. Jeff's doing a bang. I just couldn't stay awake, and that's all it was. Anyways. Let's see, Jeff's doing a bang-up business online at the Bar and Grill. He's got Morse cod and frequency fries going on tonight, but it is Friday, so you need to have your fish on Friday. Let's see. Oh, and that pool, yes. Although by the end of this week, it'll probably be too warm to swim in because it's supposed to get really, really warm this week. Anyways, Bob, VE3HIX, and are we still on for tomorrow? Because if so, I'm going to bring you some money and that bank statement and card.
Yeah, good evening, Larry. Good evening, everybody. Yes, VE3HIX here. Tomorrow morning, I'll be out there, but I haven't joined your group again since everything broke up early in the spring or late in the winter. And just wondering what time you normally meet up there. I want to get up there at least so we can meet in the parking lot and then get up north before, I think, 9.
Yes, well, since we can't really sit around in the inside, we've been meeting there roughly around 8:30. Although some guys still show up the regular time, and but I've been showing up anywhere between 8:15 and 8:30. And then we go in and get our groceries that we need, and grab a coffee, and then stand around the parking lot, practice safe distancing, and have a little chat. So, yeah, if you're there by 8:30, 8:45, you'll be fine.
I was thinking a little later than that because I don't drink coffee, and I don't imagine they have egg sandwiches that you take out to the parking lot, do they?
I think they do have the grill running because I know one guy last week was in and he had ordered like 6 Westerns, and they were making them up for him. So I think you can get stuff hot off the grill still.
Okay, I'll be there after 8:30 sometime, and as long as we can get up to our own parking lot, what's left of it. I noticed a lot of stones that were put on our lawn and things like that from the plows over the winter time. And as far as I know, nobody's been up there to just quickly check the place over, see if the engine runs automatically, and make sure the lights are turned off, and that the engine hasn't been running for the last week with the tank empty or something of that nature. We'll see how it goes. We'll see you up there at the E3HIX.
Sounds good, Bob. And as I say, I'll have some money for you so you can do some treasury work this week. Let's see, we're at the bottom of the list again, so I'll take a standby for another round of check-ins. If anybody would like to join the Rag Chew this evening, now's your opportunity. This is Laird, VE3LKS.
XCQ is here.
Okay, a call sign. The first call sign was VA3. I believe it was KST, Kilowatt Sierra Tango. Is that correct?
VA3 KST, kind of silly girl there.
Oh, did I miss you? Did you check in earlier?
last week. There, no, it was a couple of days ago. I was kind of nodding off anyway, buddy. I think I caught wind of your sleeping there. Yeah, I missed out last night. I wonder you weren't there, but it wasn't because of that. My wife had a terrible time there, so not much better today, which was terrible yesterday. Anyway, we're back to buggies tonight, so don't worry. I figured KFC would. I would put the 666s on the end, but the Devil's already got them over to you. Greg, we controller there.
Okay, sorry, Scotty. Yeah, I do see you're up the list quite a ways there. And yeah, well, it's been one of those weeks. What can I say? I'll be glad when it's over. And I'll, just relax, watch TV, and not do anything else. Maybe go golfing. Let's see. VE3XEQ Christopher. Good evening, sir.
Wow, call me sir. Ain't that different? I don't really have too much to say. I'm just kind of in one of those bit of an angry mood because I was sleeping on the couch a couple of nights ago, and I got woken up by getting stung by a bee on my forehead, just underneath my hairline. Damn, did it ever hurt? I'm telling you. And my head was, every time I heartbeat, I could feel the poison spreading. Yeah, it lasted about 20 minutes to a half hour, and then it was gone. But you know what? I'm almost used to it because every single year while I was working, and I was a truck driver all my life, I used to work at the lumber yard. And for some reason, bees, hornets love lumber. And they also love to sting Christopher. Every single year I get stung. Usually underneath my glove, they get under there, hit me zap me in the wrist or whatever. And then last night, something bit me underneath my arm. And I thought, wow, I grabbed it and it was just a little tiny bug. But whatever it was, it left a lump and it's been itching now since yesterday. It's been itching me like crazy. It's driving me nuts. I don't know, Laird. These bugs love me. I can live a life without no bugs on the earth, let me tell you. And it's good to hear you. And we missed you yesterday. I just want you to know that so that you will realize how much we love you, Laird. And we really miss you badly. Back to you.
Well, thank you, Christopher. And also Grant mentioned that too. I missed you guys too, but I'm sure Jeffrey did a bang up job. He's pretty good at this kind of stuff. And so I'm sure he filled in quite well. And, at least you get, when you said you got stung on the head. At least it wasn't anywhere where there was vital organs, you're getting stung on the head is nothing. Sorry. And it brings up that Tomp and Stomp. Man, I'm still tired. Stomp and Tom song. Bugs, bugs, bugs. If I had them all in jugs, I'd dig, dig, dig till a big, big hole was dug, 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 dug. And that'd be the end of the bug song. Anyways, you don't want to get me singing tonight. Anyways, we'll go back up to the top of the list. I'm Mike, VA6 HEM. Take it away.
Good evening, everybody. VA6HM here. Not really much else to add, but just have everybody have a great weekend. And hopefully I'll let you guys know now that you've got rain coming the next couple of days because, man, it's been raining here for the last 3. So, which is well needed. My grass is actually growing nicely now, which is perfect. Hopefully, the next couple of days it clears up and I can cut the bloody thing, but we'll see what happens. But other than that, not much to report. Just doing some FT8 as we're monitoring here and playing around. So we'll say 7-3s and catch you guys on Monday. VA6HEM, back to next control.
V3MRV.
VE3MRV. Now there's a call sign I don't recognize. Good evening, sir. My name is Laird. and my call sign is VE3LKS. Good evening and welcome to the COVID-19 Rag Chew.
V3MRV. Well, thanks, Laird. The handle here is Merv, just like the call sign. Mike Echo Romeo Victor, and the call sign is Mike Romeo Victor. And I'm located up here in Lindsay, and you're doing a fine job there, Laird. But I must say that Jeffrey did a fantastic job as well when he did the net. I did break in, talk to him for a minute or two, and he had a fair amount of calls. But it was nicely organized, well orchestrated, and it was a good job he had done. So with that, Laird, just make sure next time you just automatically give it to him without him even knowing it. Anyways, back to you, Laird, V3MRV.
Okay, very good, Merv. Glad to hear that Jeffrey did a bang-up job. Maybe we'll give him a few nights every week now, start slotting other people in and get them used to doing it. But perfect. Yeah, he's an interesting guy to talk to. I don't know, have no idea what you guys were chatting about, but whatever it was, I'm sure it was interesting. And thanks for joining us tonight, Merv. I don't know if Jeffrey told you this or not, but we're doing this every night during the week. So Monday to Friday at 7 o'clock. And if you're interested, our club meeting is going to be on Sunday. And we're doing a Zoom meeting. So it's like a teleconference. And our main presentation will be on the Nano VNA. So if you would like to join us, by all means, you're more than welcome to. Just send an email to my call sign, which is VE3 LKS or Victor Echo 3 Lima Kilowatt Sierra at yahoo.ca, and I will send you the meeting invite. And I hope you stick around for the second round. We're just going back up to the top now, and it's free for all Friday. So the topics, anything you'd like to discuss. So VE3 CWR, Gerard, take it away.
Yeah, okay, not too much more to add here. I've got burnt fingers here. I'm trying to replace a transistor and a Darlington pair here, germanium stuff. Man. Shaky. Anyway. If you smell something burning, it's my fingers. Anyway, back to master control. These three-state old door.
Did you say you were trying to put some geraniums inside your radio? Aren't they supposed to go aside in the garden?
Yeah, that's what I do with the radio when I put it in and it doesn't work. I put it in the garden. Germanium, everything on this thing is positive ground. Like the old English stuff. Everything's positive ground on this stuff. It's a pain in the bottom. I can't hook it up in the car because if I ground the antenna to the car, it'll burn everything up. Pain in the bottom collar.
Yeah, I remember I drove a transport like that once a couple times that had a positive ground. I don't know why they ever did that, but I'm sure someone had a wise idea why they should do that, but it was a pain. You couldn't hook anything up that you wanted to hook up, and it was, well, you could, but it was a pain, as you say. Very good, Gerard. Bill, VE3CRU. And when are they coming to take your trash pandas away for you?
Yeah, that truck also had the rear end in upside down, sideways.
VE3LKS, VE3CRU. I didn't quite catch that comment was from here for the other person there, but anyway, a couple of things. First, IFB to the residents of Stump and Tom Connors and to the schoolhouse right next door to it. Quite interesting down on Prince Edward Island. And I have to say, next door to it, quite interesting down on Prince Edward Island. And I have to say, Lord Solomon, you are a spoil sport. Here, you tell me to put ice on my back in the hot weather when I'd rather be next door in the arms of my next door neighbor. Hi. I'm not going to say another word about that. I'm going to let that tease your imagination. Hi. Hey, we've got to have some fun on this net, don't we? Anyway, as I say, it looks like a great weekend coming up. And if that question was for me, please ask it again.
Yeah, I was just wondering when the fellow was going to come and remove your trash pandas.
Okay, I'm trying to think of the trash stuff there. Now, I don't know if you meant the raccoons or whatever. I got somebody coming. They're doing that on Friday, the 29th, and wouldn't you just know it? It's the only day in the week we got rain for putting the outside part of the air conditioning in. But other than that, no, everything's going well here. As they say, I'm happy with everything that's going on. Over.
Excellent. Yeah, the reference for the trash panda, that's a nickname for raccoons. So very good. And glad that's working out for you. VA3 RTV, Jeffrey. Oh, and by the way, this is a fun rag chew. This isn't your normal, checking in for the net. Oh, thanks. And that's it. We try to make 2 rounds. We're on our second round already. And it's open for anything, any discussion. And we just like to have fun. It's just another way to break the monotony of this COVID and all the regulations. Anyways, Jeffrey, VA3 RTV, you're getting some accolades tonight. Congratulations.
Yeah, there were very kind words from Merv there, and very interesting fella, and he could relate to some of the things I was doing, like taking my equipment to pieces before I even plug it in and see how it works. I've always been doing that. Even when I was a little boy, I used to take stuff apart, see how it worked. And any case, I have just emailed you yesterday's net list, so you should have that. And just one quick thing on positive ground vehicles. My 52 MG TD was positive ground. I put up with it for about 15-20 years, and then I decided to convert it to negative ground. While it was positive ground, I used an inverter, so I could use a modern radio. So the inverter solved that problem, and it's much easier to just change the polarity. And really, on an old English car, it's not a big deal, unless you put a lot of electronics in it, and then you've got to change, because I put some electronics in mine. So basically, everything stays the same, except you got to repolarize the generator. And because I transistorized the electromechanical clock, I had to change I had to change the PNP transistor to an NPN, and a couple of other little things I did, but it was fun, and so now it's negative ground and works great. And in fact, I just took it out yesterday to go and pick up a meal from Barnaby's there. So that was one of the first trips in a nice day. And with that, back to you, Led.
Okay, very good, Jeffrey. And that's I don't think I've ever seen you drive that vehicle, but I know a friend of mine, he's got an old Spitfire that he rebuilt, and I mean, it was funny when he redid it. He did everything in his basement. The only thing he didn't take down to the basement was the chassis, and but he sandblasted it all and painted it and redid everything, and then he reassembled it outside again. So that was quite the project. And I think it's going to be for his daughter. I think his daughter has it now, but it's still parked at his place, but it's intended to be his daughter's. So Interesting. Sounds like a lot of fun. VA3 WBZ William. Okay. Okay, William's not here, so maybe we'll come back to him in a few minutes. VE3 RPN Scott.
V3LK, V3RPM. Yeah, good stuff. You got me on the other one this time. What else can I say tonight here? Let's see. Oh, not too much. Sitting up here next to East Side, enjoying a beautiful night. Got the air conditioner on its way up the stairs at home. At least that's what I told Linda. I think she was on the second step. That's a 1200 BTU Toshiba. I told her, don't rush. I'll give you 4 hours, then I'll come back and see how you're making out. By then, she should have it up. Still got it in the box. It's a little heavier, I think, than she thought. I told her we got Dad's cat now. He's pretty strong. Just put a little rope on it, and that'll work, too. Anyway, over you there. What's going on here? Ragnet controller, 3 RPM.
Well, it's nice that you're staying out of her way so that, she's not impeded by your inabilities, and she'll have lots of peace and quiet to get it all done. And she wants to listen to you telling her how to do it, because that's usually what happens. And I know why she would get upset with you that way. Very good, Scotty. Yeah, you'll definitely want one of those, especially by the end of the week. I'll have to go outside and actually turn mine on, and then it's central, so I just have to flip a switch, and then it'll be ready to run when it gets warm. But it's been nice sleeping with the windows open. Haven't had to have all the blankets piled on you. I don't mind that in the winter, but when it gets this time of year, I just like to have just a sheet on, and that's it. But this week has been nice. Who's next on the list? VE3 VGJ.
Good evening, Laird again. I thought you missed me there. Not much else to add here other than you mentioned Stompin' Tom. I always like listening to him. Probably after the Ragnet here, I might look him up on YouTube, and a few of those songs are always fun. And as far as positive and negative systems, I had a little thing there when I was wiring up my ATV for some lights on a box in the back. Set up negative ground, but the positive went to the light, and then they actually switched to negative on the other side. It was kind of different. But other than that, just a little comment about that. I guess you're off for the weekend. Maybe see you there tomorrow. But the Zoom meeting again on Sunday. Talk to you later.
Yeah, I plan on being up there tomorrow morning. Get some groceries. I'm short on eggs and maybe some tomatoes. And then Bob and I, we're going to go up to the repeater. He wants to check the generator, make sure it's still generating and coming on its regular test schedule, because we haven't been able to do that for the last 2 months. But so now we're going to give it a go tomorrow and make sure everything's working. And I always like it when there's at least 2 people up there. I don't like just one person being up there by themselves, just in case. You never know, you could fall and twist your ankle. And I know there's no ice this time of year, but that doesn't mean someone still can't fall. And I'd hate to think that someone was up there and not having a very good day and not having anyone around to help them. Let's see. Let me go back and see if William's back. VA3 WBZ. Okay, nothing heard. I'm wondering, did I skip him on the first round too? I can't remember. Cam, VE3 IGX.
Yeah, nothing much else here. After the golf, I just rested for the day. But before I went golfing, I did go out and flick the switch put the air conditioning on, in case the wife wanted to use it. But when I come home, all the windows are open. And sometimes we'll have the air conditioning working for 3 hours, and then she looks out and sees some nice wind, and then decides to shut the air conditioning off and open all the windows. And you see in 5 minutes what it took the air conditioning to do for ours. And with that, I'll say 73 to everyone on the frequency, and I'll be standing by listening. VE3LKS, VE3IPX.
Yes, although I will have to agree with her. The fresh air is nicer than the air conditioning, if it's cool enough. I do the. I have to admit I do the same thing, but I'm lucky. My air conditioning unit is probably a bit oversized for our house, and so it doesn't take long to cool down our house. I can flip the air conditioning on, and with about literally 5 or 10 minutes, it's down to where I need it to be. So it's good that way. Let's see. Alan, VA3ABZ.
Hi again. I just wanted to thank you, Laird. I do receive the emails, the e-newsletters that you send out, and with them being in PDF format, my computer does read it back to me. So we'll say 73, VA3ABZ.
Oh, very good, Alan. And yeah, I'm glad that it's able to do that, so that you're able to enjoy them, and or you may not enjoy them, but at least you can read them and hear what's going on, and that's excellent. I didn't know you had software that could do it, although it doesn't surprise me in this day and age. But excellent. And if you ever wanted to join in on our Zoom meeting, you're more than welcome as well. You would probably need a bit of assistance setting that up the first time if you have someone handy. But you know, it's video, but it's also audio. So you're more than welcome to join us if you'd like.
How about you then?
Okay, very good. VA3WBZ. Let's try you again, William. Okay, nothing heard. VE3IRB Robert.
VE3IRB. Nothing really to add. Hope everybody has a good weekend, and I guess this is the second time round. It's getting near 8, so I'll say 73 to all. Back to you. VE3IRB.
Yeah, you almost sound like Santa Claus there, Robert. 73 to all, and to all a good night. No. Oh, very good. And yeah, you'll have to fill us in on how the garden's going up there, too, on the north end sometime. Maybe at the club meeting, you could fill us in, because I know that was pretty bad when a bunch of stuff got stolen, but I'm sure you guys are slowly recuperating, and it'd be interesting to see how the greenhouse part is doing. VA3 DCE Doug.
Good evening again, Laird, everybody. That discussion that brought up there by Gerard about positive ground equipment and everything brought back memories of the late 50s, early 60s when we had a lot of British cars around, and you had to watch very carefully when you used booster cables to start them on a cold morning. Otherwise, the fireworks were quite spectacular. It was something you don't think about these days, but back then you certainly had to be careful which way you hooked up the cables. Anyway, I'm going to pass it back to you, Laird, and wish everybody a 7-3, and see you tomorrow morning, hopefully. 7-3, Laird.
Oh, very good, Doug. And yeah, if anybody, I know they were mentioning, Mike was mentioning the rain's coming. I'm redoing my rain barrels right now. And I was up at Home Depot this morning, sort of at the crack of stupid. But I didn't want to be there later in the day when there was a big lineup. So I went over, I think I was there around 7 o'clock, if not a bit earlier. But do you think I could find 3/4 inch inside diameter hose? Because I've got 2 barrels, and I need a new piece of hose between the 2 barrels, and it's 3/4 hose that I need. and they would sell it in 20-foot lengths, but I don't need 20-foot lengths. So I may end up making a trip to Princess Auto tomorrow as well, or TSC over in Bowmanville. Haven't decided which one. To see if I can just, all I need is a couple of feet of this stuff, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Like, it doesn't have to be vacuum hosed or anything. Just something that will keep my APRS beaconing on the road a bit. Let's see, E3 PWJ Peter.
Yeah, a lot of interesting topics. Have you ever tried with your GD77 Laird when you plugged it into the car, the 12 volt? I tried it on the Mazda, and boy, does it ever drive the AM radio crazy. How I found that out, Diane found it. I pulled the thing out of the cigarette lighter and it went away, and we plugged it back in again, and it makes an awful racket in the radio. I don't know if you had that problem with your GD77 on 12 volts or not, but that was something we found out today. So we'll say the best of 7.3s, and I might see you tomorrow as well. So anyway, have a good evening, Laird, and everybody on the net here tonight with an interesting time. So over to you, Laird.
Okay, this may answer your question, and maybe I'm just drawing a total blank, but I didn't think they came with a 12 volt adapter. I know they come with the charger where you can charge up your battery, but I didn't think they came with the car charger.
I ordered the 12 volt adapter for it, and it plugs into the box. So you can either have the 110 or the other one. You got to be careful of. You don't want to plug your cell phone into it. And then I ordered it separately, and boy, it really drives that radio, the AM radio, crazy. Especially even like CFRB, it'll just drive it. You can hardly hear the radio in there. But maybe you wouldn't know because you've never tried it. I could bring the thing along tomorrow if you want to have a look at it. Well, I'll have it in the car anyway, so you can have a look at it tomorrow.
Okay, good. I was thinking I was starting to lose it. Well, I probably am, but I couldn't think of that radio because I knew I always had to use the desk charger to charge it up. So yeah, it'd be interesting to take a look at that, and it'd be interesting to take it and put it in my vehicle and see what it does to my radio. So if you don't mind, we'll try that and see what happens. Maybe it's something that's unique to your vehicle, and maybe it's something that will just screw every vehicle around. So it'll be a fun little experiment to try. Sounds good, Peter. I'll look for you in the morning. VA3 BAH, Brian.
Well, good evening again. And by the way, just wanted to mention kudos to Jeffrey, but kudos to IRB as well, because he was they're trying to keep it all together too last night. And by the way, I heard you ask what people were talking about. Well, you, of course.
Okay, I guess I'm going to have to pull out the recording that I made off of Broadcastify and see what nasty things you guys were saying behind my back.
Oh, never nasty, just the truth.
Oh, that could be even worse. At least nasty, you know, there's some hope in there. But if you're telling the truth, my goodness, I'm messed up then. Very good, Brian. Looking forward to see you Sunday afternoon on the Zoom meeting, and some of your guys as well. I hope we have a good time. Who knows? This could be the start of something even more between our two clubs, and why not? The more, the merrier. I'm all for enhancing or expanding amateur radio, so you know, the more they can get involved, the better. I just see that Jackie's online. I haven't heard her check in. I hope her radio is okay. But she is online. And William, WBZ. So I see him online, but I also thought he checked in. But I haven't been able to get hold of him on the radio. Okay, very good. Good to see you online there, William. And all the rest at the Roadkill Cafe. It looks like they're having a bit of that tonight, too. And if anyone is wondering what the heck I'm talking about, I'm just going to drop you here for a second. Yeah, not only do we have the over-the-air rag chew on the repeater, It is also broadcast on Broadcastify, the audio, but we also have a YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and look up my call sign, Victor Echo 3 Lima Kilowatt Sierra, you'll see me and all my long moppy hair doing the rag chew from the comfort of my shack. And down the side, if you have a YouTube account, which doesn't cost anything, but it allows you then to make comments, and there's all sorts of funny comments going down the side. We have a shortwave listener, Jeff, who's been with us for quite a while, and he sort of runs a virtual bar and grill there, the Rag Chew Bar and Grill, and so he has specials every night. Like tonight's the Morse cod and frequency fries. So yeah, it's just another fun stuff like that to add another dimension, and it's just a lot of fun. We don't take this too seriously, and we just like having an enjoyable evening. VA3 KJI Grant.
Yeah, hi, Larry. And I'm also a big Joe Muffra Stomp and Tom fan. When I was in grade 6, my grandmother, somebody bought me a record. I still have it. Of course, it's rather scratched, and I wouldn't put it on my new high-end turntable, but it's kind of neat. And I also was at his schoolhouse and got my picture taken looking through the cardboard or wooden cutouts. It was kind of neat. What else were we talking about that I was going to drop in? Oh, we call it positive ground cars. Yeah, not only were the British cars positive ground, back then a lot of them were 6-volt. Jeffrey, you probably remember the old funny thing was they were powered by Lucas, the Prince of Darkness. Anyway, back to you, Laird, and I won't be around for much longer because we're using Zoom and an online card game we've had so we can play cards with my buddy up at Buckhorn. Over.
Okay, very good. So this isn't Magic Mike night when you have to go dance behind your wife when she's playing cards with the girlfriends?
Actually, no. This one's even worse. To give you an idea, last Friday night we started playing cards at 8:30 and went to bed with alcohol glow at about 2:30. So we played 5 games of euchre, and then we just shot the breeze. Like this is my best buddy, and well, to tell you, we do so many things together that our fathers died a week apart.
Same Jetta. And she was the type of person you couldn't say no to, and she talked me into being Santa at the Christmas party.
You had a few drinks.
I don't even know they have it. But
This could be any artist, but it's a nice way to put a bright and how shall I say fun ending to a static. It's a good last comment. Trust me, they will be on next week. Back to Matt from Prince Edward Island.
the world famous schoolhouse. But a true Canadian icon. Anyways, gentlemen, I want to thank everyone for how many nights we've been doing this. And again, I'm sorry for last night. I just